So before we talk a little bit more about the geopolitical landscape, which I think is probably the most fascinating conversation right now, you were so early, but you also tried to orange pill a ton of people. You mentioned Peter. Are there other folks that you went to that people either don't know about or folks that you had conversations with that just didn't get it, still don't get it? Like any stories from the very early days that would surprise people?
Right. As I've said many times, I was really hard trying to get Russell Brand, who's a famous guy in the UK, into Bitcoin. He was not really able to get what it was all about. This was, again, when it was, $50 or so. I gave him some Bitcoin. I don't know what he ever did with it. I'm pretty sure he lost it. I saw him recently on his podcast asking people to explain to him what Bitcoin is. We had, if you look at Keiser Report, we had several shows in his actual flat in London talking about Bitcoin. So he must have amnesia. My friend Alec Baldwin, who I knew from New York University, when Bitcoin was under $10, $20, I was talking to him about it and trying to get him into it. Alex Jones, of course, when Bitcoin was under $5, I offered to give him 10,000 Bitcoin to give to his audience as to spread the word, because, Pomp back then in 2011, a lot of people were giving away thousands of coins as a way to spread the word. When it was cheap like that, it was easy to do. So Alex Jones, he rejected the idea and said, no, that's some kind of CIA coin. I don't want it. So he rejected it. He rejected that offer of 10,000 coins. And the list goes on from there. Everyone I met, I was trying to get orange pilled as we do. And I guess those are some of the celebrity instances.
How much Bitcoin do you think you've given away over the years? I don't want to know how much you have, but how much do you think you gave away in the early days when you were trying to help people spread the word or drive adoption? Tens of thousands of Bitcoin?
Thousands.
Thousands? I mean, when you think back to that, worth it?
Well, you never have enough. I mean, what can I say? It's in some, the Bitcoin phenomenon ultimately, I like to think about Buckminster Fuller. Buckminster Fuller was a visionary thinker, and he made a decision early on in his life that he wouldn't do anything in life that wasn't beneficial for humanity. And he created the geodesic dome. He created the first electric car, or one of the first electric cars. And he thought strategically about humanity. And Bitcoin is something that's pro-humanity. Paul Tudor Jones even said that gold is a bet on disaster. Bitcoin is a bet on humanity, that it's going to get better. So, I mean, part of this is being involved in something that's going to improve humanity, improve what our experience as humans, on this earth, because Bitcoin demonetizes violence, whereas fiat money really monetizes violence. The petrodollar and the whole war industry, and it's all based on fiat money and money printing and the Ponzi scheme of money printing. It's a very violent area. Fiat money is the source of violence. Bitcoin is demonetization of violence. So in that context, you're like, well, I'm doing something, I'm part of a bigger thing. And with Bitcoin, everyone who gets involved to it in a big way really learns to get humble and say, you know what, this is bigger than me. And there's something potentially that could be great for humanity here. People who are narcissistic egomaniacs have a big difficulty getting into Bitcoin. I think that's the Nassim Taleb story. He's rightfully proud of the work he's done with his books, etc. But he developed this narcissism that prevents him from seeing the humanity of Bitcoin. And so he's essentially committed professional suicide with his antics of the past few months. And we see that with Nouriel Roubini or Paul Krugman. They've committed professional suicide because they don't have the humility to approach Bitcoin on that level. So to answer your question, sure, I gave away thousands of coins, but if it's part of the journey, that if it ends up being beneficial to humanity as a whole, then I think that that's something we can all be proud of.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching that clip of the Best Business Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you know when we go live every weekday, and then head to SoFi.com/pomp so that you can get an account and we can get after it.